back. Uh, Saudi Arabia was interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and start this with the cold open, but I think we might be seeing the downfall of Mercedes in real time. I'm just gonna start it hot right here
Um,
and roll credits.
I don't know if it would necessarily be the downfall of Mercedes, but I would say more so for Ferrari.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that. I mean, there's talks of, is Leclerc going to sign back with Ferrari when his contract is up? There's talks with, Lewis kind of wants to leave Mercedes and wants to maybe possibly drive for Ferrari in the future. Maybe we could see a one-for-one trade. Maybe we could see, I don't know. I'm just talking out of my ass, but
Yeah, and then
no,
I mean, I don't know if you noticed during the race, but Leclerc was getting on Javi for giving him info late.
was he really?
Yeah, you didn't see like after the safety car was out and Lewis and George and everyone in front was pitting under the
Yeah.
safety car. They're like you got to increase the pace because they're all pitting. And he's like, why did you tell me this now? You have to tell me this
Yeah, that
earlier.
that doesn't really make sense to me because you had you had some radio messages within Red Bull and Checo that were a little odd. I mean, Mercedes is going to have some Lewis complaining in it, and then Ferrari is just. I mean, last year to this year, it just feels consistent. Of this year I feel a little bit more commitment to the plans that they decide to pick, but at the same time, they have no idea what's going on the track. I feel like you very literally could have a pit lane of them sitting there watching their data, watching what's going on with the cars on the track, and you can turn off all the screens and you're asking them to, hey, go ahead and try to strategize this weekend because now you can't see, now you don't know what you're doing. Go ahead and try to do it. That's what it seems like they do every weekend, just doing it blind. I don't understand how they mess up their strategies this often.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they really messed up the strategy too bad on the race weekend. I think it was unfortunate that after they both pitted, that a safety car came out. And I
Yeah,
mean,
that does
can we
suck.
talk about how that was probably the most bullshit safety car I've ever seen? The car was
Yeah,
literally like off the track
I mean,
almost
Stroll
entirely.
literally did his best to not trigger a safety car at all. Like
Yeah.
he pulled it completely off the track. He put it already three-quarters of the way through the runoff, ready to go. And at the very least, it should have been a virtual safety car, and
Yeah, at the
maybe
most it
for a
would be
half
a
a lap.
virtual safety
Yeah,
car.
at the most. And then if anything, should just be a yellow flag in that sector. Like that
Yeah.
that's what it should have been. It should have been nothing like that. Stroll sh- hang on, let's pump the brakes. Is Stroll the new Latifi?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I'm
no
actually
nobody
coming.
can fill those shoes.
I'm definitely starting to become a little bit more of a Stroll fan. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of a Stroll fan after he had that like stellar race in the wet. I think it was in where was it? Was that in Canada?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, he had a great race there. And then I was like, oh yeah, he's pretty good. And then he had some goofy moments last season, and I was like, maybe I need to chill out on Stroll a little bit. And then I don't know. His performance the first weekend was really good, and then this weekend he just had car issues, and he I mean managed to try to not cause a safety car, which was impressive.
Yeah, which actually I got to tip the hat to because I mean he could have pulled that thing off anywhere and whatever. I think he lost what they were extinguishing his brakes when he came off the track. They were straight up just his brakes were on fire.
I mean, did you see at the start of the race his brakes were smoking before they even had lights out?
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see that. I saw lights out and complete like all of turn one. Actually, pretty clean getaway. Alonso straight up had the move. I mean, I don't know, just yoinked first place from Checo. I feel
Just
like
yopped
Checo,
his ass.
dude, Checo consistently has like some weird starts. He has some great, excellent. He's just not consistent on his starts at all.
Yeah, I mean, he it seemed like he had a pretty decent start, but Alonso just he had the better line, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what it was. And
Alonso
Alonso
had
was
the better
quick.
line.
He was quick.
Yeah,
He
that's
was
true.
no, he did you see what he said though today? Or maybe
No,
it was yesterday. I don't know. He said it recently. We got the first photos of an Aston Martin car leading a race ever. and he's hoping that's not the last time this season.
Oh, it
And
ain't gonna be. I'm
hopefully it's more than
already.
2 laps, he said.
Oh no, yeah. One, I totally agree. Two, that Aston Martin getting the jump on that Red Bull like that bro. I mean, it looked like a video game when Verstappen was coming behind Russell to pass him. It literally looked like he had 99 speed and Russell had like 70 speed. It didn't make sense, but for Alonso to go ahead and you know get the whole shot and then come out leading for 2 or 3 laps, but then also getting a podium at the end of this, it's a testament of what that Aston Martin can do. And I 100% think they're the dark horse of this season. They actually have power to
Yeah.
steal some wins away from the top 2 teams.
Is it a coincidence that Aston Martin and Red Bull were the 2 teams that broke the cost cap? Minor breach?
Chris, you might be onto something.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I don't know.
We got a regular Sherlock Bro Holmes over here, dude. I mean, they're successful. It's been proven in the past. I mean, that whole camp over there, they had the pink Mercedes when Mercedes was successful. Now they have the green Red Bull when Red Bull's successful. They breached the cost gap just like Red Bull did. Now, what is Aston Martin doing? They're having their entire HQ, everything on site. There's no other location that they have to go to for any sort of data or development. So that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, Aston Martin stock is just steady, just going up. So
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, if you roll the die, I think I would roll the dice on them being on my fantasy team. Shout out F1
I
Fantasy
have
Hub.
them on mine. I need to do a little bit more management on my team because I still am running Leclerc as one of my drivers on there. And
You got to drop your boy.
I know I let the emotions get the best of me and picked him up. But yeah, the 2 constructors I have, it's Red Bull and Aston Martin, so pretty solid moves right there. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Aston Martin's looking good. It looks like Aston Martin is the second best car on the grid. Um,
I think I can comfortably say that until Ferrari can finish a race top three. I
I
mean,
think I think at this point I think Mercedes is going to pass them this season and just stay in third, and I think Ferrari's going to fall to fourth.
who's getting second?
Aston Martin.
Oh, so Aston Martin's going from P9 to P2 in
I
constructors, just like
I
that.
mean, we'll see. Okay, we'll see what happens. Maybe Mercedes can figure it out, but like Mercedes is already off to not the best start, but maybe they've been at such a like the wrong design that it should be easier to make the right one, but we thought that last year, so I don't know.
Yeah, this is true.
And
Well, they doubled down on last year a little bit.
yeah, so Ferrari they have to figure out reliability still and
Dude,
like the same issues. They didn't really change much. I mean, they have
no,
the fastest pit stop 2 weekends in a row for what that's worth.
great. Great, great, great. It's almost like a constellation prize at this point. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, you're doing this great, but that should be the standard in F1. That should be, you should be trying to break the record for pit stops. You should be pretty consistent in that field. Now, what you shouldn't have going on is going, you know, I don't know, 15 races last year of just not knowing what the hell's going on strategy wise and not picking the right. Oh, well, he has these tires, or we should have started on these, or, stay out, box, 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 stay out. But like you gutted almost everything ready to go. You got a new team principal. Can we see some sort of progress instead
I,
of just we're in quicksand right now, Ferrari?
Maybe I'm a little too harsh on the strategy so far because I don't think they really have had bad strategy this season yet.
No, you're right. It's not bad strategy. It's just poor execution.
Yeah, I mean they really messed up with the pitting, but like how are you supposed to predict a safety car, Like
You can't. You're
yeah.
right. You can't. Oh, we'll cut them some slack there. We are only 2 races into this year. They have time to make it up, but we both know F1. It's you cannot throw away weekends. All these weekends, just like in 2021, when Max and Lewis literally were tied to the decimal point
Yep,
in for the last Abu Dhabi race, you
that was
cannot throw
insane.
away a weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think anyone can compete with the Red Bull car. Like it's so good, and then with the rear wing when it has DRS, like it's passing anyone.
It's passing literally everyone because I mean you saw him hawk 2 seconds down within a half a lap. You saw him get within DRS range within if he was 3 seconds away. I mean you saw Checo completely pull away from second place, and he felt like Max. He was barely covered on TV because he's just he was just going away. And
Yeah.
I mean Jesus Christ, man, Checo loves the city circuit.
Hey, can we talk about how there's only 1 point separating Max and Checo right now for first,
Yeah, and
and it was
Max
the
is still
fastest lap.
bitching,
It
and
was the
Max is
fastest
still
lap point.
bitching.
What was he complaining about?
Bro, he go or when team principal asked Checo of you need to go this delta. Well, that's slower than Max. Well, blah blah blah, and then finally let them go free to push, free to push. Max, he didn't outright say like I'm upset, this that and the other, but you can tell in his team radios. He goes, yeah, it was a good weekend, great result for the team. Wish we could have pushed a little bit harder. If I had one or two more laps I think I would have got it. And then he went for the fastest lap, and he's still like, yeah, he still feels like that, even though he's
I,
still leading the
so
championship,
I,
but
I
by one
I
point.
I mean, look, I think he always wants to win. I think any competitor will want to win
Yeah, you're
always.
right.
I don't think he was catching Checo though, 1 or 2 more laps because
No,
they had the same pace at the end.
no, Checo was sitting there. He goes, dude, I got more in the tank. It's time to push. Like I can match it. This is the closest I've seen Checo to Verstappen in his pace.
Yeah, no, I mean he was matching it straight up.
Like the dude was moving. I do not know what happens to him when he gets on a city circuit. But whatever it is, the dude turns into a cold-blooded killer.
Dude, I know, and he should have won last year also. Like, just want to revisit this one.
That's
We
what I'm
said it.
saying.
I called it. I called that he was getting first. You called
You
that.
did.
You called
I
that.
had it flipped. I thought it was just gonna be Max. He was gonna win from fucking P15, and it was gonna be like Checo or Alonso second and third.
Uh-huh.
But you
You
called
called
it
George
almost to a
Russell.
T.
You called George Russell doing better than Lewis.
I did. I
Yeah,
did.
and you said Martin was going to struggle and that George Russell would get a podium, which almost happened. And I didn't really see all that until later. So can you kind of like fill me in on the is Alonso
Okay,
100th
so
podium
yeah.
or not?
So I have no idea what the FIA was smoking because whatever they were smoking to realize and understand that the decision they made they were wrong, I want some of it because he got P3, then because he had a he was awarded a 10-second penalty because of I guess not serving a penalty correctly or not serving or the pit crew touched a part of the car they weren't supposed to during a certain
Oh, I
area.
think it was they had the floor jack was touching the car, but it wasn't they didn't jack the car up, but they had the jack like in place in position.
Yeah, and that happened, so the FIA decided to reward, mind you, this is after, Alonso celebrated on P3 podium. He popped the champagne, he got the trophy, he's already off, he did all the celebration
100th
with the
podium.
fans. Yeah, celebrated a 100th podium, like good to go and everything.
He joined the 100 club with the likes
30
of
minutes after that's over, there's this just in breaking news. George Russell now awarded third place because Alonso received a 10-second penalty for exactly what you said. 30 minutes later after that, George, Georgie was like, "Oh yeah, I mean, I'll take the trophy, but Alonso definitely deserves a P3. They were the more deserving car to finish there, and who knows? Maybe if they rewarded it in the middle of the race, he had enough pace to push that gap and beat George Russell's 10 seconds and still get third. Who
hmm
knows? It should have been decided mid race, so he knew, so he can push. Anyways, the FIA was like, okay, yeah, maybe you guys are right because I believe Aston Martin supplied 8 different like times that same maneuver was done with other teams and their team, and nothing got ruled for it. So
Nice.
they were like, okay, yeah, no. FIA is like, what can I say? You got me. And they're like, "All right, yeah, cool. Fernando gets his podium back." And it finally was settled that, "Oh yeah, yeah, cool." Now all the posts they were like, "Oh yeah, this session Fernando loses P3. Edit. Never mind. He's reinstated."
It's back.
Like it's dude, I don't understand. They let him celebrate, took it away from him. They were like, "Ah, nah. Just kidding. You can have it." They're
April
smoking
Fools?
they are smoking. They're smoking that good in Jeddah over there.
I don't know how they did that one. I mean, I I'm just excited that we didn't have such an explosive weekend this year.
No pun intended. I mean, we could have. This track. I mean, I'd kind of just want to dip into some of the track history on this. This is a very fast track.
Did they
It is
change the
a
layout this year?
no. I do.
I think they made one safety improvement at that one corner that Max and Checo both cut one after
Oh
another.
yeah, that's right.
I
Yeah,
think they
we saw it back to back on the
yeah.
the track cam.
Yeah, I think they added that little runoff there to make it a little bit
For
safer.
that exact oh, coming in too hot.
Yep.
Well, not only that, I love how they did that, but just ignore the risen sausage curbs.
Oh yeah.
Dude, you could see it I think Lando went wide on one of the curbs and caught the curb in the center of his car. I've never seen so many sparks in my life.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
dude, I
You could
don't
see
know.
where the curb was getting like the paint was scraped off of it from all the cars
That's what I'm
hitting it.
saying.
Yeah.
You could see the highest point, and it's clearly here's the track, and then you have the curb that kind of raises right next to it, and then it like caps off, and then you can clearly see that, dude. When you're moving through chicane that fast, and you have to come over the curb because you're using the whole track, it is. You know how slippery those things while accelerating on them, dude, you're literally going to end up like Mick, how he did in Miami, and sideways that bitch into the wall at like 170 miles an hour.
He did that at Jeddah too.
He did. Oh, it was Jeddah that he
It
wrecked
was
that.
Jeddah, yeah. It was Jeddah
Yeah,
and then Monaco.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. He has that deal. And nobody bats an eye at the risen curbs. I love this track. I actually really like Jeddah. It's a beautiful track. It looks great at night. It's a super fast city circuit,
Yeah.
but Jesus Christ, man! Can if it's already going to be that fast, can we make it a little bit safer,
And my complaints are like the super blind corners. The whole track is pretty
dude?
blind, and like you saw the during practice and even qualifying, like they get a lot of traffic there that makes it like impossible for some people to actually like even get a good lap in at times.
Oh, the back couple chicanes are the worst.
Yeah.
It you go from flying through it to a hard stop of being super agile to immediately back to flying through, which ultimately just bottlenecks cars when they all group up because they're all anticipating, what is this guy going to do? But I also have to keep up speed, but we got to slow
Yeah.
down, and everybody's anticipating the guy in front of them, so it immediately just clumps up, and it's just a bad time.
It there's one more thing I think I want to talk about this weekend before we kind of wrap up the that talk, and it's my boy Logan Sargent, dude. He got hosed
He's
so
got
bad.
Oh man, it's a
So bad
travesty because
in
he looks so
qualifying.
good in the car.
Yeah. They
He
got his
looks
lap
so
time
good in that
deleted
car.
on
Yeah.
like I don't know,
Which
maybe
which I
was it
can't
the right call?
I have to say it is.
Okay.
I actually have to get behind the FIA and say yes it is because like we said a couple episodes ago, it's got to be black and white.
Yeah.
With the call like that with his lap time getting deleted because of track limits, they saw daylight between those white lines of him exiting the track. So I for fair sake and it being black and white for every driver and me knowing that that same call would have been made on, let's say, a Lewis Hamilton or a Max Verstappen or a Fernando Alonso or a Leclerc, that same call would be made. I'm okay with them calling it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously if it was 2 3 years ago and we see Max or Lewis do it and then it gets called on like a dude like fucking like Kimi Räikkönen or something, and he's like, "Well, why I get the penalty? What do? What do? Like it's if if that's the call that was made, then yeah, I'd be pissed about it. But if they're gonna make that call 10 times out of 10, no matter who's behind the wheel, I have to back it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So sorry, Logan. And then he got a yellow flag, or was there like a safety car or something that stopped? Yeah, it was like a yellow flag or something that stopped his last lap attempt because he
I
had to
know
come.
he got hosed so hard.
Yeah, he had one
he
more
fell he
shot.
fell victim to the time limit.
Yeah, he had one more shot, and then it got ended short because of yellow flags or safety cars, one of the two.
Some could say he had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything he ever wanted.
Yeah, would you capture it? Oh, oh,
Just
oh.
let it slip.
Actually, another thing to think about is how about Piastri?
I mean, do you want my honest answer?
Give me it.
He looks good. He has number one driver potential.
Yeah.
I just think we can't even get a good read on these drivers, Lando and Piastri together, because the car is so shit.
Yeah, I mean, he made it to Q3, but
Yeah,
he had a mistake during the race that cost him damage to the car, and then at the end of the race, he was they had to let tell Lando to get out of his way and let him go.
that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
it's like I actually like, oh shit, we've got because last year like I said, I love Danny Rick. Maybe it was the car, maybe it was him. I don't know. I'm still in Danny Rick's corner,
Mhm.
but seeing it not even be a competition last year between the two drivers
Ooh, that was tough.
really it was just depressing to be a McLaren fan last year. It's still, trust me, the depression's still there being a McLaren fan this year. But seeing, Oscar go like, "Hey Lando, I'm faster than you, so I'm going to fucking buzz by you."
Yeah.
Like and yeah, our car's shit, but someone's got to do it. If someone's faster, you got to favor that person, especially in McLaren shoes right now because they have very little to work with, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, okay, so you're the McLaren guy, I'm the Ferrari guy. We both have it pretty rough, but who would you say
Pretty
has it
painful.
rougher? Is it Ferrari where you have
Uh,
the hope and the expectation, or is it McLaren where you're just like, well, I mean, I don't have any expectations?
well, I would agree with you. I would say it's Ferrari that feels more painful because of the pedigree that comes with Ferrari, because of the expectations, the driver lineup. I mean, you have everything to formulate success. McLaren does too, and they do have the pedigree, especially coming after 2021. That
Hmm.
2021 McLaren car was actually really fucking good. I don't
Yeah,
think people are giving it enough credit as to what it should have been. But when they finished 1-2 at Monza and they were regular, like it was actually a good competitive car.
yep,
But 2022 to 2023, I think because the car is such a shitbox, they already have to manage that so much. The Ferrari car isn't a shitbox. The only thing that makes it bad is reliability. The
yeah,
McLaren car isn't even fast to begin with. I mean, dude, we saw every car on the grid hawk that car on the straights. It had
yeah.
no power. It couldn't even defend. It's a sitting a neon orange duck on the grid right now.
With revolving sponsors.
With revolving spot, yeah, yeah. We found a way to pay for our shitbox more because we can put more sponsors on our card than anybody else because we have technology in that. But god damn it, we can't go fast in a straight line.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me. That's the only reason I feel like Ferrari has it a little bit worse. They're really close.
See, I would
Ferrari
have to
has
say
it.
I think McLaren has it worse
Enlighten me.
because you know how horrible it is to watch sports, your favorite sport,
Uh,
and your sports team is never gonna do good this season.
the yeah, I mean, I'm a Houston Texans fan, man.
Exactly. It's like it
It's like that. It's like
it's
that.
exactly just like that. It's like, man, yeah, you go in there like, oh yeah, I have no expectations, so if they do good, I'm gonna be surprised. But like
That
that
is
sucks,
true.
dude. That's a
A
depressing way to watch sports.
having the bar on the floor is a different way to enjoy something.
Yeah.
It's not a good feeling. Having the bar on the floor and you just being like, "Oh, hey, we did something cool, sweet." Like, it's not a good feeling. But
Yeah.
like Ferrari, yeah, actually, you know what? I can get behind that. I would like to change my stance. You're totally
I
right.
would like to change my stance.
Because when Ferrari does something cool, you're like, all right, yeah, Ferrari's back. That's exactly what we would expect from Ferrari. But McLaren does it. They do something cool. They're like, holy shit, guys, are we back?
How did we
Are
do
we
that?
back? How did we do it? What was the secret? Everybody interview him because nobody expected this. Because literally no one.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
we
I
got
don't know, man.
we got an off week, and
We
then
do.
they're going down under.
We going fucking down under. We got Oscar Piastri's home race
Oscar Piastri's home race.
because it's no longer Danny Rick's home race. Oh, that hurts so bad saying. I'm not gonna
Hey,
lie.
think about it though.
Ugh.
First race, Max Verstappen won. That's their number one driver. Second race, we had Checo win. That's their number two driver. Maybe Danny Rick makes an appearance. Maybe we see someone get sick. I don't know.
Who gets okay, who gets subbed in? Who gets subbed out?
No, I mean someone has to get sick or injured, and then Danny Ricciardo just pulls it. Maybe someone loses their
That's
plane
fair.
tickets. Maybe Max sabotages Checo and makes him miss his flight.
I want the race with Daniel today. Fuck. Okay.
I need to build my gap in the points.
Oh, that ain't right, bro. That ain't right. I guarantee, dude, Danny Rick could probably drive the shit out of that Red Bull car.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, it's built for speed. He's a late breaker. And that thing sticks exactly where you want it to as well. That thing it looks like a different animal on the track.
Yeah, yeah. It's a new Mercedes.
But yeah, man, we're going into Australia. Max leads by 1 point in the championship. I hope Checo hawks him, at least takes the lead for a couple weekends.
You know, I
I
I
don't think
re-
it happens, but
I didn't think that your prediction would, at the start you were saying you think that Max and Checo are going to battle for P1 and it was going to be a close one. And so
I
far
think they are.
it is. So we'll see. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, that'll be super interesting. But
Yeah.
well, guys, Chris is going to have some dinner. I'm I'm going to hang out for the rest of the night. Your boy's about to catch up with all this editing, and we got Australia next. We have Australia next. We're gonna be down under. We're gonna be watching the race at 2 a.m. our time, maybe 4 a.m. Chris's time.
Ooh.
Yeah, bro. We might have to hit a recap. We
That'd be
might.
midnight for me.
Actually, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're behind me. So yeah. That'd be midnight for you. I think you could do it.
Oh, I could
I think
definitely
you could
do
do
it.
it.
I'll be up
I'm
late.
gonna be struggling, but I think you could do it. But yeah, we'll catch you guys down under. And Chris, you got anything to say?
Just good day, mate.
Good day, mate. See y'all then. Later. Okay.